Hello, my name is V.Katrivanou. I'm a psychologist. I work with refugees and asylum seekers, and I'm also an ex-member of the Greek Parliament with Syriza. We're in Greece, July 2020. The lockdown and the movement restriction because of COVID-19 has been lifted for the Greeks, and Greece is now open to tourism. We accept flights from many countries all over the world, even from countries that have a much worse epidemiological profile. Does this measure now apply equally for everyone living in Greece? No. The refugees and asylum seekers that live in camps and in reception and identification centers on the Greek islands are under movement restriction for more than 3 months now until July 19th. This is definitely discriminatory and even a racist measure based not on any medical evidence, but on a political and ideological agenda on the refugee issue. World Health Organization and European Center for Disease Prevention and Control says that there is no evidence to suggest that quarantining people in reception and detention settings effectively limits the transmission of COVID. Instead, governments need to provide free and equitable prevention testing, care, and treatment for immigrants and refugees. The reality is that in camps and detention centers, the situation is really inhuman. There are thousands of people, one on top of the other. There is no such thing as social distancing. People are waiting hours in lines all day. They have limited access to running water, to bathrooms, and of course to doctors. There are many vulnerable people, older people, sick people, waiting to be transferred to safer places than camps like Moria. There are families that need to see their doctor or their lawyer to go to a public service, and they cannot do that since there is a restriction of circulation from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, where only 150 people an hour can exit the camp. But now we're talking about camps where thousands, even 20,000 people live there. So people might wait for a week in order to exit. Other countries have certainly better practices for COVID prevention than this, like Portugal with a left government where all refugees and migrants, irrelevant of their status, have access to the public health system. This discriminatory measure of movement restriction in Greece for refugees and asylum seekers has no medical evidence, and it is applied only as a measure for political management of the situation. To me, it looks like a rehearsal for the operation of the closed centers that the governments that this government is planning to apply. This measure supports the cultivation of racism and the creation of ghetto. This measure has to end now.